Two moms, two marketers, two women new to the financial industry. They have a lot of questions. That's why they're bringing in financial experts to educate all of us here on A Penny or Two for Your Thoughts.
Hey everyone, it's Chantel and Liz.
And it's a penny or two for your thoughts.
That was... Oh no, my computer already went off. Are you kidding?
Type in your password. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This
1,
is
2,
how
3,
we're starting
4,
this
5,
podcast.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You are not helping me. There we go. Here we go. Another podcast. Woohoo! Okay.
For life. This is how we do it.
Okay, so we have, I have to get to these guests so quickly because I'm so excited about these guests so much.
Plural.
But
Yes.
I was trying to think about things to talk about today at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I feel like we really need to share how we are doing with dad jokes. And that we're doing them all the time.
Yes.
And so guests, we're keeping you a secret right now.
Yep.
But
And you can laugh if you want to.
yeah, you can. But so we've been doing this for almost the whole year. We have a dad joke every morning, and we do it with a few people in our office. And so we have become really good at it. Mm-hmm. I think really good.
Yeah.
So I found a podcast joke.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Is that a dadcast joke?
Oh.
What do I sign up for?
Yeah.
I mean,
buckle
I got
up.
16 years experience of dad jokes.
Buckle up.
I
You
know.
need the 5-point harness for this podcast.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay.
Come on.
I started a podcast about elevators.
No way.
It's got a lot of ups and downs. So good. Shout out to Michelle because she does the dad jokes with us. But I thought that was really funny
Considering
because we just this morning found out that some of our colleagues got stuck in the elevator at our office
Yesterday.
Yeah, and so the entire team is going to lunch together, and it stops in between. And so they wait, like, oh, it'll readjust, right? And I'm like, no. And so then they push the get me the heck out of here button, and they didn't answer. It was like 3 minutes of just waiting. And so, yeah, there were a lot of conversations around this that I probably shouldn't put on the podcast.
Yeah.
But it was funny because you got to think about what's going to happen to you when you're in a podcast or when you're in
Also comical on some of the way the team reacted, like the different reactions that the team had.
Yeah.
I think 2 people screamed, and one immediately, her head, the first thing she thinks of, not necessarily food or water, but what's the bathroom situation? What corner are they delegating to bathroom situations?
Yeah, that's where, and
that's where her head goes, like the first thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, sure, priorities.
Yeah. And so I asked her, I go, did you guys look up to see if there's like a way to crawl out? No, we didn't think about that. We're thinking about where we're going to go to the bathroom.
And then another team member was like, the highlight of my day was trauma bonding with my coworkers.
Yes.
It's like,
right?
okay.
So good.
Silver lining.
So we're setting this up for you. If you guys have a dad joke and you want to, intermix that during this podcast, I invite this.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. But anyway, I think we need to get going because it's going to be a good one today.
Well, I mean, if you're asking for dad jokes, you can't respond, but
Okay.
I'll give it to these guys.
Okay.
So, what do you call a horse that has insomnia? Yeah. Silence, crickets.
Something with a neigh, wouldn't it? Neigh would be in there.
A nightmare. Andy, please don't log off. Please don't.
Just stay here.
Just stay.
Stay with us. Stay
Don't
with us,
click
friend.
the leave button. Okay.
You have one of these a day
cool.
for 300, the whole year?
We tried.
And there are days where we've had more than one.
Yeah.
And now my husband is finding them for me, helping me so I can. Yeah, it's a thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. You should come up. You should come up and visit us more often on the 4th floor.
If you want a knee slapper of a morning, just come see us.
Uh-oh. What? What's happening?
Mine are more freeform.
Oh.
So they flow in conversation as opposed
Yes.
to a set
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
delivery.
Oh.
See, that's where I'm at with Michelle, and she comes to my office and she starts telling me something, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Is this real?" She goes, "Oh, my grandma died." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like, "Oh, it was a joke." Like, wait, what? I don't even know what to believe anymore with her. Anyway, that's where we're at.
All
That's
right.
where we're at.
I think this is going to be hands down one of the best episodes. I'm ready for
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, I can
Let's
just
do
feel it. All right, we have two, not just one, but two superstars for you all today. Our first guest is a voice you probably recognize because he was on the show just a few months ago, and we're so delighted that he
came
agreed
back.
to come back, and we didn't he wasn't like, okay, fruitcakes, we're
Thanks, but no thanks.
thanks, but no thanks. Got better things to do. Anyway, he's our favorite change cultivator from our partner at GreenPath, and credit unions are deep in his soul, and he has a passion for helping members. Please join me in welcoming back Andy Manthei. Andy, woohoo! The crowd goes wild.
Nice to meet you.
Yes. Yes. Did you hear that? It's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy out there, listeners. Okay, our second guest is one of the coolest gents at Centris.
Can you
Yep.
just
It's
talk?
going to make me blush.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
So much love in the room.
Let's
Okay.
listen to the voice. Oh, my God.
I know. Just listen to him talk. I'm pretty sure all the ladies out there are going to be like, oh. Okay, buckle up, listeners. He's already in his 5-point harness for this podcast. His intro is one for the books. So, he's originally from Newmarket, England. He's lived all over the world. He's taught middle, high school, and college. His big move into the banking world was several years ago in New Zealand. How cool is that?
I know, right?
He's worked in contact centers, worked as a collection agent, mortgage collections, and has led and supervised teams. We snagged him 3 years ago for Centris, and he's now our special assets lead. Welcome to the show, James Moon. Woohoo! And the crowd goes wild.
That is quite an intro. I was not expecting that.
Wow.
I'm glad you read my Wikipedia page at this point. I
did, yeah.
Seriously.
So,
Yeah.
James,
Was it accurate?
It's spot on, really. It's fantastic. I'm going to take that and put it on my CV. But I'm not leaving Centris. Just put it on my resume.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Just put it on your LinkedIn.
Just put it on my LinkedIn
Yeah,
page.
there you go.
so James, what is the rite of passage from New Market to Old Market?
Oh, that was a good one. Because that was the same question I asked him on the right here. I'm like,
I don't
why the
know.
heck are you
Surprise me. Is this the dad joke, number 2, or number 3, number 4?
Bingo.
Oh, so good.
Oh, God. Sorry. But yeah, thank you for the warm welcome. I've never been on a podcast, let alone award-winning one.
Really?
Never, ever.
Oh,
What episode is this?
like 573.
Okay.
73.
And you're scraping the barrel by coming in for me. I mean, like,
No. No.
he's been on twice, and he's been on twice. I've never been on.
I know. I don't know how to answer that for you, but
Honestly,
you know.
we have been trying to find a way to get you on.
Yeah, right.
I like the double act already. You're great. You should have your own, like, morning TV show.
The pay can go under the table.
Okay, we're gonna keep this light and airy today because we got a heavy topic to talk about.
Yes.
But you said you could keep this light and airy for me.
I'll do my best. I'll always try my best. Can't guarantee, but I'm
that's
90% confident we can keep it light and
90
airy.
Very good. Okay, so you have to talk to. We're going to start with you and the background and how you got to where you're at today and what you're doing today at Centris. So that leads us into this podcast.
Well, I think you knocked it out the park with the beginning of the intro. So England originally was a school teacher back in the day. And then a buddy of mine gave me a call after I was teaching for a couple of years and was like, let's go traveling. I was like, why not? I've got 6 weeks off. Let's go on a little jolly interrail through Europe. And he's like, no, let's go for a year. And I was like, why not? So we just got a one-way ticket to Beijing, flew out, traveled through Southeast Asia, eventually arrived in Australia, talked for a little bit there. Then I was like, well, New Zealand's there. It's just around the corner. Got a 2-year visa there, and then eventually worked for a small little regional bank. Can I say other companies' names? Is that allowed, or is that not permitted on the... I can't endorse.
We don't really know the
Nobody
rules.
makes-
I worked for Westpac.
You make the rules here.
So Westpac was a New Zealand regional bank, and I was in the contact centre. There for 2 years. Loved it. Learnt a lot. Have no issues on the phone. It's probably one of the best skills I've ever picked up. I can talk to anyone on the phone. No issues. Did that for 2 years, and then eventually went to South America, Central America for a little bit. And then I was like, you know what? Omaha, Nebraska. Here I come.
Did you
Down
throw?
in the
Okay,
center of nowhere.
Did you
Out of
throw
nowhere.
Did you throw a dart?
No, but that's how I explain where Nebraska is.
Okay.
Throw a dart, and it's smack bang in the middle. But I love the Midwest. Midwest is best, as they say. Snow, hail, tornadoes, flooding, wind. Am I missing anything?
Sunshine.
Blizzards, sunshine, humidity.
We've got it all.
We've got
Come here,
fires.
everyone.
Yeah. And then I guess the next part is now I'm at Centris. Beforehand, I was for another financial institution in the area. And I took the jump, the leap to Centris, and no regrets.
You
Love
like
it.
the purple, don't you?
That was my first question I asked you to. You don't remember that? Oh, you do?
No.
In training, I was like, why purple?
Yeah, I do
Yep,
remember
I
you
do
saying
remember
that, and then we were like, "Oh, it's royal. It's bougie.
It's royalty. Yep.
Okay.
And they were like, "Okay, why are we looking at purple? What are we doing?"
So, yeah, and now I work in the special assets department. Day-to-day, first thing is always a cup of tea. Straight out the gate, you've got to have a cup of tea. And then...
He's literally saying cup
Yeah.
of tea, not like it's a cup of tea. It's
Right.
like,
Cup
let's
of
go
tea.
have a cup
Yeah,
of tea.
he literally
God, I love
drinks
it.
a cup of tea.
Yep, and so our department is, we're going to keep it light and airy, but we do focus on repossessions, bankruptcies, charge-offs, garnishments, and we organise like the day-to-day running and handle that within Centris.
Yeah.
I've rambled on for 5 minutes, so let's move on.
That's great.
Ask your questions away.
The transition was perfect. Yeah, because that's really what we wanted to hit on
Yeah.
today, were those, bankruptcies and repossessions, because we know we're in a tough economy, and this happens. And we just wanted to give the information and education around, what to expect. What if this happens? How do you navigate through this? And Andy, bringing you in and just the educational aspect. So I'm looking forward to you guys kind of bantering back and forth and understanding how this is happening, but this is what you can do to really, help with this, the situation that we can be faced with at some time. So.
That was Chantel's way of saying she's going to sit back, relax, and just let you
Yeah,
two talk.
and here you go, have fun.
And that was
guys.
also her way of
Chatting.
saying, Liz, don't say anything.
No, I was like, that's it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, bye.
Bye. No, that can be a tough day. That can be a hard day. Hard conversations. But Andy, and this might be for both of you to kind of talk back and forth about, but what are some of the most common financial warning signs that people tend to ignore before they end up facing things like bankruptcy or repossession, and before you have to talk to them?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the most powerful things is that I worked for a GreenPath partner as a branch manager and loan officer. And so the relationships that we built with members, we were usually the last one that they'd start to miss payments. Mm-hmm. And by that point, everything else was kind of going off the rails, unfortunately. So where people oftentimes will get sidetracked is that they won't understand the full picture of like their debt, for example. Like we've been seeing people, for example, that have really gotten into the buy now, pay later, and not realizing that all of those are added in as debts. And so sometimes what happens is you've got multiple credit cards, multiple loan payments, and eventually you get to a tipping point and not realize how much debt you actually have out there, and suddenly it's overwhelming. Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing that we really try to focus on is a holistic approach to understand maybe there's some other things that you could do to help out with that transition and understand where the spending plan might need to be adjusted. So for example, let's say you've got 10 credit cards and one of them's with Centris. Maybe there are lowered interest rates on like a debt management plan that GreenPath offers that by lowering those monthly payments now makes enough room for all of those payments to be made. And now you can actually start tackling the principal balances instead of adding on debt. Sometimes it could be a situation where maybe refinancing that car loan because it was a sign and drive and it's 22%, but the credit union has one for 8%. And so by lowering that payment, now everything fits a little more comfortably. And now that spending plan doesn't feel so restrictive.
Right.
So usually it's really trying to take into account the total picture, not just the Centris debt, and then figure out how do we create a path out of this and a path forward from that.
Very good.
Can you repeat the question? Because that was a fantastic answer. I really knocked it out the park. He had everything that I had ticked here.
Oh, okay. So,
Wow.
so no follow up for me.
Ask me the question again. I mean, it's
Common
great.
financial warning signs that people tend to ignore before they end up facing bankruptcy or repossession.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much nailed it with like, you start to live in your overdraft, revolving credit, your credit cards, you're only making the minimum payments. The payment that was on time, if not before, becomes the next day, a day later, 2 days later. It's going to be glacial, like old age. It's going to creep up on you.
Until you hit your mid-40s and it's like falling off the cliff.
40
Yeah.
this year, oh my God. Backaches, everything.
Oh, yeah, you'll wake up 40, like the day after you turn 40. 40 is not so bad, like the day, the birthday, because you're all up, you're high on the fact that it's your birthday. But the next day, it's like you wake up and you're like, what happened? What is this in my back, in my knee?
Does it get better?
No.
Sure doesn't.
Next question.
I've literally thrown my back out by putting my socks on. So that might feel like a joke, but it was legitimately happened. Something shifted in my lower back, and I was on my back for 2 days.
No.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Same. My husband sneezed, and
That's a whole different
that's where we were for a few days.
Okay, so right back at it. Let me ask a really deep, dark question. Okay, what if someone is at risk of losing their car, for example? What should they expect? We're just diving right into this. So how does this, or set this up for us so we understand?
So any financial institution, not just Centris, should be proactive. I mean, we should be reaching out, text, email, phone, carrier pigeon, telegram, Instagram, whatever feasible way we can make contact with the member is vital. The earliest that we can help make contact, knowledge is power. The more that we're going to be able to put in structures, support, and understand what you need or what has caused you to fall behind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how does that process work then?
For my department, we would refer you to collections. Collections are front office.
Yeah.
They are fantastic. It's the collectionettes and Brian now. But they will, day 4, the first text message will go out. They will call you, email. You've just got to answer and respond back. The amount of times that I get the account is because the member's been non-communicative. They've just not called back.
Right. And that collections team is wanting to help. They want to find a way to make it work so that they don't end up with you.
Yeah. I've never heard anyone go, don't want to help you. Everyone wants to help someone.
Right.
And we want to do that to the best of our ability. And our collections department is fantastic. I mean, they want to know the reason you fell behind, what caused it, how can they help. And there's loads of options that we can support you to get you back on your feet.
Yeah.
But then you've got this fine gentleman here as well. I mean, that's just within Centris. I mean, you've got credit counseling services. You've got so many options. It's just go out and find them. And if you don't know, call Centris. We'll tell you and put you in the right direction. I mean, you go to our website. I know the people that designed it. It's fantastic. If you go to the top where it says resources.
We're going to have to give him, like, swag.
It's like a Venmo count. He pays me a little bit, I pay him a little bit.
Oh, gotcha.
But you've got programs on that. I think we might get it to later down the track. But you go to our website. You've got information there. Give us a call.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
It's that game, that head game you play with yourself, that there's this embarrassment, there's this worry, I'm going to get blamed, shamed, anything, and it's not that at all, unless you wait too long, right? Then there's other questions that have to be asked and things like that, but it's that initial ask for help, right?
Right.
Just ask.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, if there's so much power here and things that I've been learning around the nuance of the emotion, because for so many people that have even talked to us at GreenPath, they're like, I wish I had reached out. But what I've been learning is that there are elements sometimes of past traumas where they did repossession. They did get kicked out of their home. They are afraid that that's going to happen again. And so the stress of that can be completely overwhelming and they shut down. There's also a number of people that have become diagnosed with ADHD. 4 years ago, I got that. And what I realized was I suffer from rejection sensitivity dysphoria. So what that means is I am so terrified of being rejected, of what that person is going to say, that it will shut me down and I won't reach out for the help. And so what I love about having this conversation is trying to humanize this so that if you recognize that you become so overwhelmed with fear of that call, that if we can take a moment and just breathe and realize that, okay, we've got to figure out maybe some different ways that we can provide that empathy, that non-judgment that can get people to act because they're in an emotional state that has them completely shut down.
Right.
So I felt like that was a little rambly, but at the same time, it felt very connected to what you were saying.
Absolutely.
Because I've seen it from people who like, they want to reach out, but they are so terrified of the end result. They've already built up what's happened in their mind before even those conversations took place. But one interesting thing is we, during COVID, created a course around mortgage forbearance, and we created it to be a conversation with the mortgage servicer so that people could remove some of that fear, because these are the questions they're going to ask you. They're not just going to say, hand us the keys or anything like that. So we're trying to disarm that in different ways so that they're more prepared for the types of questions to ask. What is the conversation going to look like? Things like that too. So
Education is power, right?
Yep.
For sure.
I'm just raising your hand.
Right. Right.
Paw before jaw.
Right.
That's one thing I learned from teaching. Paw before jaw.
Paw before jaw?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
Love it.
Paw before jaw. I want
how
that on a
sad is
shirt.
it that I just went into the Paw Patrol
Yeah.
song?
Well,
I'm more of a Bluey fan.
yeah, same. Oh. Louie Paw. My daughter would never listen to this podcast, but she'd be absolutely thrilled that you just talked about Bluey. She's 5. She'd be like, Bluey.
Oh, okay.
Light and airy. Light and airy.
Light and airy. You're nailing it.
Yes.
Very well done.
Yeah, so light and airy. Can you walk us through what that car repossession process actually looks like? What happens behind the scenes? Maybe that kind of gives people a little bit of insight as to what that next step looks like.
Yeah, of course.
If they aren't communicative. You said that word a lot better than I did.
Facade, facade. I don't know which way to say it. So it starts with collections. That's the first step. At 4 days, they're going to text, we're going to email, we're going to send the letters. When it gets to 45 days, if there's not been any communication, then the account will be reviewed for potentially for a repossession. That'll be done by the management. If they give it the green light, it then comes to myself, Bernice, and Jen in special assets, and then we'll look to open up the repossession. Just depending on geographically where the vehicle is, most of them are going to be in Omaha, Council Bluffs. Otherwise, we do have ones in Alaska, Florida, California, all over the place. Members move. But we'll actually go to pick it up. Once it's recovered, we'll receive a condition report and a picture report, and we'll book that car in, and we'll give it an established value of what we think we're going to sell it for, depending on the level of damage. Sometimes we don't always know the mechanical issues with the vehicle. At that point, we're then going to send out a letter or a notice of sale letter. The member's got 10 days to bring the account current, pay any additional repossession fees, so involuntary, if there's a key fee to get into it, in order to obtain the vehicle back, and then they would have to go to the towing company to pay any storage fees, redemption fees to get it back. If they're not able to get the vehicle back, after that 10-day period, we'll look to file for title, depending on the state that it's in, which means we'll convert the title from Mr. John Smith to Centris Federal Credit Union. We'll also then look to cancel any auxiliary products, so gap, warranty, because we want to get the deficiency balance as low as possible, because if there's any charge off, we want the best for the member. We want it to be as low as possible.
Right.
Okay? And then while that's the title's being sent, DMV, I've never experienced DMVs until I came to the States. Mixed bag. Some are fantastic, some are just, all over the place. But we eventually get the title back. The vehicle has then been transported to the nearest auction, which is usually Manheim, and we've got the one in Omaha as our main one. And then we'll sell that vehicle. And once we receive the proceeds, they'll be applied to the loan. Sometimes you may be able to pay the loan off in full. There might just be that the car is so beautiful, and so lovely, and so pristine that it'll pay it off. Otherwise, if there is a deficiency balance, we will charge that off. We'll notify the member that they're going to be placed on limited services. There'll be a repo sold letter, and then that balance will be passed on to a third-party collection agency, and then they will handle the account going forward.
Got it.
That gave the details.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is a process. So even when they do get to you, there is one more shot.
And they will call the collections, and collections is not the 10 days, is like, after 10 days, we're legally allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But if you called in and go, hey, I need an extra 4 days, 5 days, we're going to work with you. We want you to put you in the vehicle. It's better for us. It's better for you. Less stress, less anxiety. You don't have to worry about trying to get another car. Your credit's not impacted. I mean, they're all knock-on effects. And it's just like a domino, you know?
Right.
If you can stop one domino falling, you're going to be in a far better position in 5, 10, 15 years down the line.
Right.
So this kind of then goes back over, you've gone through these, you've said, okay, ask the questions, ha before ja.
Nice.
Right? Got that? And then we went through the steps. So now we're at this place where this happened. Repossession happened. Whether it's your home, car, whatever that looks like, boat, whatever. And now, Andy, we turn over to you. Education. Is this stigma now that this person feels? Is there this emotional piece of it that you were just talking about? What does that look like now if someone comes to you and your team? What does that look like to help them get through what just happened and to maybe start this new path? And it may not happen right away, right?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it comes down to what's stabilized about their situation, and also sitting in that moment of like, you're going to feel a lot of emotions here. And you may have heard me say this ad nauseum, you are not alone. This has happened to folks. This isn't a final indication of everything. Let's figure out how we can take the next steps forward. Mm-hmm. So if it's a situation where losing that car now does impact the ability to earn an income because that was how you got to work, what are some of the potential options that might exist out there? Talking through, sometimes trying to figure out how do you reconcile with the credit union, because most credit unions will say, look, if we've taken a loss from you, we are going to be hesitant until we've been made whole at least. And it's not that we harbor ill will against you, but we just want to make sure that we've been made whole there.
Yeah.
And so it's leaning into the recognition of, hey, we want to repair some of these relationships. How can we get back on track? Is it a credit rebuilding type of situation? But at the end of the day, it really comes down to that stabilizing situation of the income. Mm-hmm. Because whatever caused them to lose the ability to make payment on that, there was something going on there. And whether it was that they stopped paying on the car and kept paying on the credit cards, sometimes people will do that. Even though our recommendation is always going to be pay your house, pay your car, those directly impact your housing, your ability to pay because it gets you to work. But some people like that lifeline of the credit cards. And I won't even say it's just that's their comfort, because if something bad happens, they could charge a tank of gas. They could go to the grocery store and get what they need. Yeah. And so trying to help them understand all of those aspects and how we can figure out a temporary situation And then where do you want to be able to go? Like, what are some of the things you're wanting to accomplish in rebuilding that credit? Like, it's probably going to take some time to rebuild from that repossession. We talked through the ability to pay back those amounts, because if you've got something that's, say, a charged off debt or repossessed debt, if you can change that to a paid charge off or something that indicates that you at least got them back to that being made whole position, then that's how you can start to continue to move forward on other debt decisions, other spending plan decisions, other priorities, things like that.
So great to hear that. And I think shout out to our partnership with GreenPath, because when you are a Centris member, this is a free service. This is something that you, again, ask for it, and you're going to guide them through how to get through this. You know, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I think that's just so important to point out that you're not alone. For sure.
Yeah.
Just almost have that song in my head.
Oh. And I'll say it's about the win-win.
Right.
Because if that person can feel like they're on a path to healing from, I mean, that's a traumatic situation.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Having that type of situation, but also drawing in the win that Centris understands. This is an important thing.
Yeah.
They understand that they're not just in an adversarial relationship.
Right.
They're trying to help you succeed. And it's working with what you have and what you've agreed to through the original loan, all of the relationship that you built through the years.
Yeah.
And so leaning into that is the win.
Yeah.
And then from our perspective, it's getting the right information in the hands so that they don't end up in some kind of predatory situation, some kind of, quick loan product or something that thinks it'll make it better, but it's a totally predatory loan rate. It causes deeper hardship, those types of things too.
Right. That's honestly, we have to hear that on our floor. We sit next to the fraud analysts, and these poor people, they get phone calls for loans and they get scammed, and all of their life savings gets taken from them because they're almost in a panic, or they're they don't know where to turn. And this sounds, those scammers are really good at making it sound like it's a great deal and it's going to benefit them, and in turn it doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Andy, this might be a question for you, and James, feel free to pop in if you've got insight onto this, but what are some of the first steps that our listeners can take to recover financially after that repossession or that bankruptcy?
Yeah, for me, I'm always about, we've got to figure out how we can get into the problem-solving centers of our brain. And that sounds very heady, but a lot of times it's just taking some deep breaths. Because in fight or flight mode, you are trying to figure out how I'm going to survive this. And the problem is our cognitive ability isn't able to look at a wider picture. And so part of that is potentially opening ourselves up to guidance and help. So if it's somebody that's not invested, like a GreenPath, like, hey, I still feel a little weird about Centris because, this happened, but I do want to talk to somebody that's not going to make me feel bad about what happened, then that can be a really positive situation. And then if we can get into that right side of the brain where the problem solving comes in, it's like, okay, so this has happened. We now know this is what the picture looks like. We know all the debts that are out there. We know what the current budget looks like. We know what you're wanting to accomplish within the next 3-6 months to a year. And now we can start to put into place the initial things. So we're not going to tell you 10 things to do because you're still in a stressful situation. But what are the 1 or 2 items that can help you start to take that initial step? So that could be looking at increasing income for a period of time. Could you do some Shipt or Uber driving or something like that maybe, if that's part of your overall goal? Is there something that's reconciled, like maybe it was a temporary reduction in hours, so now the income has reverted? Are we now able to do something like a a temporary share secured credit card. So something that can start to establish a payment history, reestablish some of that relationship, and build forward from there. So it really is going to depend on the person's initial situation, their goals, what they're trying to accomplish. But it's really giving them those first baby steps, one or two steps, so that they can see how this is going to lead to that reconciliation down the road as well.
Right. Just those little wins that they can have.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I would just say time. It's going to take time. It took time to get into the situation, and it's going to take time to get out of the situation. It's not a sudden Friday, I'm fine, and Monday, I'm filing bankruptcy as repossession. Right. It's days, weeks, months, and even years. So don't expect that it's just going to be the next day.
Right.
I saw a news story this week, ironically, as we're talking about this, that this woman was in tens of thousands of dollars of debt. And every day she typed in ChatGPT what she could do to get out of debt. And she goes, it wasn't the act of doing that, but it was the act of looking at my debt every single day. She would go in and say, okay, this is what I have. This is a little nugget. They would serve her up a little nugget of how she can save. But she's like, I was facing it. Before I was not looking at it. I know it was there, but I didn't want to look at it. And so she got out of that debt because of that, that act, so it is, you can do it with those little steps, but that time, it's going to take a while, and you have to actually recognize that it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and how many things feel overwhelming if you look at the end goal versus, all right, I'm gonna try to lose the first 5 pounds instead of losing 50 pounds, because that's so daunting. Mm-hmm. And so if we can start to help people think through the behavioral principles of like goal gradient theory, like the closer we get to a goal, we accelerate that. Well, hey, you know what? We made progress on that initial goal, whatever it was, and it doesn't feel so crazy and really tying into the deeper emotion like you were sharing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of my favorite mottos, I live by this, and I share it with people around me, is that better than yesterday. Mm-hmm. Be better than yesterday. So even here, while it's, a lot of times we think of the health and wellness spectrum of, losing weight or going that route. I want to walk 10,000 steps a day, whatever that looks like. But even in your financial wellness, you can take that same mindset of, I always think of it like a ladder, and you don't want those steps of those ladders to be too far away that you can't take that step, but you want those little, like you said, baby steps so that you can climb and feel like you're making progress. And you may look down after those first 2 steps and think, oh my gosh, I'm not really that far, when in reality, you're further than you were 2 days ago, a week ago, a month ago, because you've taken those little steps. And so that's just, I think that's a great reminder just for everybody, like whether you're in that hardship or not, or you're, maybe you are dealing with some things, that you just have to find a way to take those little baby steps so that you can be better than you were yesterday. Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, is today's a new day, and I can just find a way to do better.
Absolutely.
Yep. So I think one of the hardest...
Yeah, I do too, every day.
Swing and a miss.
All before day.
I was going to add on and say yes and to, I think, the one hardest thing of that is the internal dialogue that we have with ourselves.
Yep.
And how quickly we can end up either in a negative place or a positive place. Mm-hmm. And it's not always easy, and it's not saying to like chastise you if you end up in a negative place. Right. It's how can we get you out of that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like leaning into the emotion, leaning into what I'm feeling. Yep. And then what are our next steps? How do we take that?
Yes.
Yeah. And you just said it, leaning into that emotion and then leaning on somebody to help you. You're not alone. You don't have to do it alone. And I think a lot of people think that whenever they're trying to do something like that, they think I'm alone. I'm doing this by myself, but they don't realize they have all these resources and people they can lean on that can help push them up those stairs or take those steps.
Yeah. What you both have been in this space for a while, and do you have any success stories that really stand out to you or that you could share?
the best success stories are probably the ones I never hear.
I love that answer.
Over to Andy.
Oh my God. You cannot drop that mic. Wow. Like a book.
That was like a podcast drop
Yeah.
mic. And Andy?
I've never been on a podcast before.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
whatever.
mean,
Right. You probably chat GPT. What are some things that I can do?
The best mic drop.
I've got a piece of paper. What am I using ChatGPT for?
And it's highlighted, Andy.
Yes.
I just want to let you know it's
Okay.
highlighted.
Stapled and highlighted.
I did that last night on the kitchen table. But I digress. So yeah, I mean, if you've been proactive and you've reached out, you should never come across my desk. You should be on the beach or whatever.
Very
but
good.
You shouldn't be coming towards me because there's enough structures in place to prevent the repossession, the bankruptcy, whether it's with Centris, your own financial institution, or this fine gentleman that's now going to take the question.
Oh, wow. Serves it up.
Again, on a silver platter.
Well, it's interesting because I review the survey comments a lot because it's been 11 years since I've actually counseled and I've been in the chair. But what I see from our credit union partners and the members that call is a very strong indication, and I see it over and over and over again. I was so afraid to call. I'm so thankful that this was made available to me. I actually feel like they heard me, that it resonated, and I actually have a plan. I have opened a line of communication with my credit union, and I see this again and again and again. I mean, we have just long lists of comments where people just say, okay, I can breathe now.
Yeah.
I actually have been able to sleep at night. And so I think when people can get outside of their own thought process, that negative, that pathway to like, okay, everything is doom and gloom, then it's like, I do have this support. I was able to open these lines of communication. They were able to help me more than I ever thought possible. And I recognize and lean into reaching out for help was the best thing I could have done.
So great. You guys, just,
So much love.
I know. It's just great.
Just keep hitting home runs.
Wrap this up. I don't
Right.
even want to.
No,
but-
I don't. I want to keep talking, and I just, because there's a little timer thing, I'm like, okay, probably should wrap this up.
Countdown.
It's counting down. All right. So Andy, you know this, and James, if you are an avid listener, you know that we like to end our episodes with a penny or
Really
two.
wrapping up? Like,
I mean, we don't
I
have
only
to.
just got here. Okay, that's fine.
I know.
He's so-
It felt like we just started.
I know, it's like
I know.
42 minutes. We've got a whole hour.
Oh my gosh. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, what else?
Let's talk about anything.
Anything.
I'm British. Let's talk about the weather.
The weather. Yes. Okay. What would you like to talk about the weather? Andy, what's it like there?
Hot and humid.
Okay.
Snap.
So
Yeah.
Brutal. You got storms recently?
I was going to mention something about James' cup of tea and with 4th of July recently. Like, like a shot across the bow in the Boston Harbor, or like
Iced tea. I don't mind iced tea. I can't, if it's unsweetened, spot on. But when it's like the southern one where they pour like a bag of sugar in it,
Oh,
I
yeah,
appreciate it, but it's a bit too much.
How about
Otherwise,
those Long Island iced teas?
love them. Why wouldn't you? It's like 5
I'm
shots.
picturing Liz just like
I'm gonna get fired.
drinking a coffee and like with a stare down across the table.
Yeah. I
In the
think
staff room.
tea trumps coffee, isn't it? But no, yeah, it's hot tea, and then you add the milk. I'm add the milk after. Some people put the milk in first, and that's like a no-no. You should put the tea bag in, boil it, and then add the milk.
Okay.
But the milk here is a bit different, so it doesn't taste as. It's a bit sweet, the milk here, which
Really?
impacts the flavor of the tea.
Oh.
I've learned so
I know.
much today.
So
I'm done.
I know.
I am done for the day.
Okay,
I'm like,
we digress. This will be cut. But,
No,
all right.
it won't.
Also, I want to point out, we came into a bar on a Friday at 11 a.m., and I got to go back to work.
I know. We do this to
What's
just.
that about?
I know.
On a Friday.
Ruin
then.
your life.
Right.
So we do. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
This is, okay, I'm starting to learn something. This is how we don't make friends in marketing.
I know. Bring him to
And
a
poor
bar.
Andy. Andy's like, you're in a bar, and I'm here.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
don't have anything else I can say to that.
I like you, Andy. You're great. You should come on more often.
so good.
We'll add James to the equation here.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
James is a reoccurring guest.
So good.
I'd be down for it. I'd like to interview you two. We should flip it. Me and Andy should do you as a Christmas
Ooh.
special.
Oh gosh, would you wear like an elf hat?
For you? Of course.
gosh.
Anything.
Okay.
Ooh, I could talk to you about how you craft like messages that connect and engage.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This would actually be
Do
kind of
this.
fun.
Yep, we're gonna do it.
Okay, we're doing it.
Mark your calendar.
Okay, mark your calendars.
He's like,
We're
oh
gonna-
my god, I cannot
Andy's
be
like-
three-peater on
He's
this
on holiday
show.
again. He's always on holiday.
Yeah.
He's like, weird. I'm gonna be on sabbatical for the next 6 months. Sorry, bye.
No, I just keep inviting myself. One of these days I'll make it to visit my cousin and I'll just show up at a studio.
Oh my gosh, don't you tease us.
Oh, don't tease. That would be awesome.
Well, we do want to hear the thoughts of what you would leave our listeners to.
At this point, it's
A
questionable.
listener.
Or one.
Your one. So your penny or two for your thoughts from this episode. What do you want to leave?
I'd say a question is always free. So ask that question. Drop the mic. Done.
Again, I can't with you.
I can rabble on and on and
That
on,
was
but I mean, that's
so good. Yes.
That's so good.
Yes.
The question is always free.
Yeah.
What's yours, sir?
This was so hard because I always feel like I'm a broken record on like the you are not alone and like leaning into that.
Song.
But another thing that I had thought about recently was like the phrase failure is not final, because sometimes you might feel like a failure, but it's life. Things are going to be bumpy. And if you don't see it as like, well, this is just an indicative of all my future financial health, all of my future financial journey, whatever it is, failure is not final. There are ways to rebuild. There's ways to reconcile. There's ways to lean into the relationship with the credit union, and it'll be okay.
It's great. Thank you so much.
Gosh, you both.
Thank you.
Drop the
Hopefully,
mic.
hopefully this one's award winning. This is the one that wins the
Yeah,
award.
Likely.
This one's getting submitted. That's
I want to
sure.
do the photo.
Yes.
With the corn cob.
Yes, with the corn cobs.
You have two. You don't have to share it each week.
This is a rock that my daughter painted. This is my award for
Wow. The Dad Award.
you are the best dad.
Oh my
Amazing.
gosh! And you'll keep that forever.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That made it. That made
This
the
was
video.
like 7 or 8 years ago, so
Oh,
still
that's the
here.
best.
I love it. Love it. Ugh, this show.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm like leaving on such a high note.
Yes.
I love this. You both are
Absolutely.
just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Good
amazing.
vibes.
Love it. I love the good vibes, the laughs. I know this was a tough topic to hit on today, but hopefully our listeners found something valuable out of it and know that they can just raise their
Paw before jaw.
Paw before the jaw.
Go Bluey.
Go. So thank you both so much for taking time out of your busy schedules. No, truly, we appreciate it. And yeah,
Get it together.
I can't.
kidding. It's a show. It's a kid's show.
It's a professional podcast.
Yeah, it's a professional podcast, and Bluey is a kid's show, and Hammer Barn is like our Menards.
Okay.
I do like me some Menards.
I know
Just take the 11% off everything.
everything.
Not
all
make
the
me
time.
do a
Going to
rebate.
get sued for so
It
many
Okay, I'll stop talking. Wrap
It never ends.
No.
It never ends.
I guess wrap it up.
everything you say, there's a song.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
Yep.
Those marketers.
Into it.
A song.
Because you could have even done Hammer Time.
Yes. Dun, 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 dun. We actually had a.
We did. We had dance party.
We have dance party Fridays, and
Oh God, our
so-
secret's out. We gotta keep it on the DL.
I mean, we don't.
We don't have dance parties.
Well, I mean, our secret's
You need
kinda
like
out.
a Dieter from Sprockets, like sign
Yes.
off thing.
Oh
too.
yes.
Don't want to
Yes.
touch my monkey.
It was nice having a podcast, everyone. I
we
appreciate
enjoyed you. I
The
hope
last
you
4
enjoyed
years
us.
have been great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We've just lost
Thank you
all
for
corn.
your thoughts.
We've just lost all corn cobs, all of them.
Andy's invitation has been drawn.
Why
all of
does
a
this
sudden
week work?
No, you know what? All of a sudden, like they're gonna cut us off. It's gonna be shh. A penny or two for your thoughts is no longer being broadcasted. Thank you for listening.
That was the series finale, not season.
Right. Oh,
Sign
anyway.
off.
Yep. All right, listeners, you
Now
know
we
what
need
to
our Sopranos moment. It's like we just fade.
Yeah.
just like fades to black.
Oh, God, so good.
Yep, listeners, you know what to do.
You know what to do.
You know, like, how to get everything, and you follow us on the socials. And if you want to talk to one of our experts, if you want to raise your paw before your jaw, give us a call at 402-334-7000. You can also visit our website, and if you want to connect with the amazing folks at GreenPath, you can check out our financial counseling page, just like James said in his part of the podcast. So we all hope you enjoyed this episode, and
As much as we did.
continue to listen. And as always, thank you so much for listening.
That sounded very. Please continue to listen, or start to listen. Whatever.
It was a little beggy. Yeah.
Yeah, Vicky.
Yeah, it was begging. It was probably begging for their listenership. All right.
Have a great summer, everyone.
Deuces.
Cheers. Thank you all.